How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nerdy Basement Podcast. We are your hosts. I am the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy, and joining me each and every episode.
What's going on, guys? It's Eddie.
It's your boy Boozer.
And we are back again with another jam-packed episode. As you see by the title, we're going to be jumping into Stargirl. We mentioned Stargirl about 2 episodes ago. It's like 5, 6 episodes deep now. So we're halfway through the season. So Ed and I are definitely going to jump into that. We're going to talk about the recent episode of She-Hulk. Obviously, we finally got our Daredevil appearance. We're going to be talking about Andor episode 5, which obviously the series has been fire, fire, fire. We got some news. And yeah, we got some NYCC, some New York Comic Con stuff to kind of speculate, talk about. It did just start going on today as we're recording, so not much has really happened, not many announcements or anything like that. Obviously, they save all that for the weekend. But we'll talk about what's coming from New York Comic Con, what we'll be doing in New York Comic Con, what you guys can expect out of us from New York Comic Con, and all that stuff. We've been working behind the scenes of doing some real special stuff for New York Comic Con, so I think everybody's gonna be excited when that stuff
What did you
drops
say
on
about New York
YouTube.
Comic Con about again? What about New York Comic
New
Con?
York Comic Con.
I just all I heard you kept on saying New York Comic Con. You know, you heard
New
New
York
York
Comic
Comic
Con, New
Con.
York
You heard
Comic
about New
Con, New
York
York
Comic
Con.
Con, right? What about New
Maybe
York
New York
Comic Con?
Comic Con, maybe Repop will see this podcast and be like, you know what? The Nerdy Basement, yeah, we'll definitely bring you out to New York Comic Con next
Better,
year.
yeah. Come on, guys. What happened? What happened? I think we did you
I
guys
thought we were. I
justice.
thought we were like
Yeah,
this. I thought
we
we were
did.
like this,
We were sweating, making it to every single opportunity they gave us, and we did it.
bro.
Like
Do
we
you
ran from
do
one
you
side
know
to
do
the
you know
other.
do you know how much cardio we put in that
Oh,
one year,
dude, well, even without my Apple Watch, I definitely walked just the convention center at least 10 miles, just back and
bro?
forth.
It was
Like
it
it was
was crazy
insane.
between interviews. And mind you, we didn't even get to enjoy the show floor that year.
Oh
It
no, we
was
didn't
from
barely.
interviews to panels. Oh, you guys did the interviews. You guys want to jump? We got reserved seats for press. You guys want to jump into this panel real quick? Yeah, sure.
You're like,
Getting
why? Yeah, why
escorted.
not?
Got to walk from the press lounge all the way down to the lower level of the freaking convention center. Hike ass up 50 miles an hour up to MSG to the Hulu Theater to catch panels. Bro, it was a madhouse.
Running
But
into
guess what?
Brian K. Vaughan and shit. You know,
Yo, it was
why not?
great.
Why not? Right? It was good
Listen,
times.
it was all worth it. It was all worth it. Comic Con, please. Those are the kind of days I live for. So hook us up.
Word up.
But yeah, well, you guys want to get into the news first that we did last? We usually do. You guys want to knock out the reviews first? I don't know. There's not much news to really talk about. So I think we can knock some of this out rather quickly.
I was prepared just to do the reviews first because you wrote it that way. So it's like,
I mean, we don't gotta go in order.
Whichever works. I'm Gucci either way.
I feel like we can dive and spend a little more time
Whichever
on the
works.
reviews if we get the news out of the way. But either
whatever
way, let's
you
get
want.
out of the way. We're here. I'm ready to
Whatever
talk
you
about
want.
it. So let's jump into the biggest, probably one of the biggest things that dropped this week on the internet, which was a new trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Tickets are on sale. 6 brand new posters dropped. 6
Fire
motion
too.
posters also dropped. There was a lot of promo going on for Wakanda Forever this past Monday, and it was literally trending within 2 minutes of the trailer dropping, which is insane. So this latest trailer gave us a bunch of new footage, some new dialogue, new scenes, some new action sequences. Obviously, we got to see our first look at Riri Williams as Ironheart in action in her Mark One armor, referencing the infamous dude. Uh, we also, like I said, we got Namor in action, and we actually got some dialogue from Namor this time around, and we got a little more information about his culture, what Atlantis will be like in the MCU this time around from M'Baku. So I don't know what you guys think about Namor. There was some pushback. You got that small crowd who were kind of like critiquing how he sounds, what he looks like, critiquing his wings. Obviously, people don't read comic books, but
The
what do you
wings are
guys think?
fire.
What do you guys think about Namor? We got to see him in
After
action
you,
and talk
Boozer.
this time.
After you,
So
Boozer.
I think that's a lot.
You listen, like I think he looks fantastic. Between just the outfit. I mean, I looking at him, especially in like the old comics. If someone was like, "We're gonna put him in live action," thinking of a suit that looks cool or like an outfit that looks actually cool and not like goofy, I would never have imagined it. If you would like told me this like years ago, I'd have been like, "Nah, that's not gonna come out right." I think his outfit looks great. I think his the way they did his feet looks great. His kind of like hopping around as well was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like the society that they've built feels rich. You know what I mean? It feels like
Right.
there's something you can dig into there, with like rich lore and stuff like that. Like it feels like they've thought about a lot of the things. Like it's not just like they have like a basic foundation. It just feels like if you ask them questions, they probably have like answers on so much. Like how do they operate? How do they deal with this? How do they mourn? Like you got to think about those things when you world build. And I think that they did that. I mean, we'll find out. But man, his throne, the shark throne,
Mhm.
fire, absolutely fire. um I don't know. I think it's very. I think what they did was very interesting, and I'm all for it. I have a feeling it's going to come across really great. I need them to have this same energy with the way they cut this trailer and the posters that they released with all future movies, because they gave us some hot fire posters, and
Yeah.
I think the trailer was well cut. I feel like it didn't give too much away, and it was just an interesting trailer. Like I felt like the whole trailer, I was like just like captivated on the screen. You know what I mean? I just was like
Right.
interested. I'm
Right.
like, I am watching this from beginning to end, and then I'm probably going to watch it again. It was a really, really good trailer.
Yeah, I know I said on the pod last time that I'm not gonna be watching trailers anymore. I just watched the first trailer, but this move with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I'm just like I was debating. I'm like, should I watch this trailer? And I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna watch it. Literal chills by the time I finished watching
So good.
that
And the
trailer. It was so
music,
good. The
the
music,
music
everything.
in both these trailers, like,
It just evoked so much emotion, not just, like
yeah.
from everything. Like even the
Mhm.
reveal of Shuri as in her Black Panther suit at the end of the trailer was dope. You know, coming in, kind of like dropping in, kind of like how Chadwick dropped in the first movie. You know, after the I never freeze that moment, and then just dropping in
Hmm.
on Wakanda on those mercenaries. It was just, bro, the parallels to that. I just feel like this movie's gonna have be tear jerking
Yeah. And
from
the
start to finish. Like,
the
and
the
I
one
even
thing,
feel like Namor is also gonna have some sort of emotional like backstory to make it
yeah.
to obviously the Tanakh Huerta has said that Namor is not a full blown villain of the
Yeah.
movie, as we all know. Everyone who's read the comics or at least follows people who have been talking about Namor in the comics and what this movie can lead to, which obviously could lead into Doctor Doom and him being the big baddie behind the scenes and all that stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening here in this movie that will really like change the landscape, not just for Wakanda. I don't want to mispronounce the word to what they change Atlantis to because that just kind of rude, but just world building and the mythology
Mhm.
that they're adding to all that and what we can get in phase 5 when Fantastic Four comes out. I think is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, but real quick, the last thing I'm going to say on that is like, the one thing I really like is how even in like Black Panther 1 and then now in Black Panther 2, like they really don't dive into like they don't their villains haven't been pure villain. They haven't been like the pure evil villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right,
the
right,
ones that
right.
are just like, well, this person just sucks. Like they're both, and like obviously we haven't seen Namor in this one yet, but like I'm sure we know what kind of path they're going down with him because he's really not a villain per se. We know his character from the comics.
Right.
So man, I just think like I just have a feeling it's gonna be so good. Like I'm super stoked. There's obviously things that are like disappointing, like not seeing like, the original Black Panther fighting Namor, but like these are things that we can't control.
We can't control.
But like either way, I think I don't know. I just feel like was a smart move, like how this movie is being made. It feels like this
Right.
movie is gonna have so much feeling and so much like thought put into it. I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like it's gonna deliver on all cylinders.
Word. Ed, I
Okay.
don't know if you caught the trailer, but I'm pretty sure you
No,
stay away from the.
Ed follows his rules, and Ed did not watch any trailer. I unfortunately see a couple
Committed,
stills. I see stills
committed.
scrolling
Did
through Instagram, but
posters were
it is what
fire
it
though,
is.
right?
I want to say the poster I saw was the one that you posted, Ozzy. So I want to say yes. I saw it look good. It
Those are
looks
a
like a
bunch
good
of them.
poster. You know what I mean?
There were some pretty cool ones.
I saw the
Yeah.
one like still image of Namor. So I saw the feet and the wings, and it looked good. I was like, cool,
Mhm.
but I swiped up very quick. I was like, I don't need to see anymore. A little disappointed that they confirmed that it's Shuri. Even though, of course, like we were hoping for something like if they were
Well,
going to switch it
there is
up,
they do
you
kind of
know.
show two different Black Panthers in the trailer.
Okay, so it's
Um,
What do you
again, so
mean?
I'll be surprised. No, I'll be
there's
surprised.
one well, Ed, if you want to go on earmuffs right now, there is one scene where you see a Black Panther creeping up behind Namor, but it's not Shuri's Black Panther because it
Hmm.
doesn't have the beads on the
Okay.
face.
Oh, hmm.
So if you go back and watch the trailer, if you look at, it's a quick shot. It's literally like Black Panther, whoever that Black Panther is, just coming, sneaking into the frame. It kind of does a little a short close up, a zoom in on the face, and you can see that it's a version of Black Panther. We just don't know who it is. And then obviously you get the big reveal of Shuri at the end with the beads and all that. I was actually kind of hoping they went more the comic book route. It looks very comic book accurate, but I did want the fur and all that stuff and the kimono bees and all dangling around because I kind of like that comic book costume of Shuri. I think they went more the minimalistic route
Hmm.
and gave her the features to fully identify to make her identifiable as the Black Panther, and it looks really good. It actually turned out to be better than
Well,
I
there's still
thought.
time. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
what if
Like
we
it's
get
just
Right?
literally.
Nakia and Shuri as Black Panthers?
Yeah, I
They've
mean
done
That
something similar with the
that wouldn't be
Zerazi.
bad.
You know what I mean? The military like force and everything. They have like the white wolves, like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're technically like a military force of it and everything, but then they're dressed like kind of like Black Panthers and everything, but just all white. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do something like that. To be like, hey, we need technically a military force because now they have like nobody. I would not be surprised that they bring in those type of guys and everything like that to be like, all
Yeah, I
right,
mean they got the
now on
Dora
top of
Milaje,
it.
they got the
You know what I
what they
mean?
call the Midnight Angels. They're
Yeah.
called the Midnight Angels, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Angels are just like the two that gets the suit. You know what I mean? So like that, but they're still Dora Milaje and everything in the comics and everything. They
Right.
just ended up taking some high tech armor, everything like that, just because of the fact they were like, F this and then he bounced. But there's a lot of stuff that they could do. Again, one of the things we never seen was that, the military like group and everything for for the actual Wakanda itself. And hey, there's shit we could do. So multiple
I'm
Black
excited.
Panthers. Why the hell not? Like
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't see
I'm
why not.
excited
dude, I'm
for. I'm
excited to
super
see
excited
more of
for
the
this one.
Dormilaje and like just like the battles. I'm just excited to
Mhm.
see how they differ.
Well, I mean, from an emotional standpoint and a storytelling standpoint, the thing with Black Panther lore, whether it be in the comics or in the movie, the women play an integral part. Yeah, there's a patriarchy, but the women are still at the forefront of that patriarchy. They're not minimalized or they play a lesser role compared to their male counterparts
Mhm.
in this society, at least. But seeing how the women cope with all this, such a major loss, see how the rest of Wakanda as a whole deals with this major tragedy, and then now seeing how the world wants to kind of capitalize on that, and I just want to see how they overcome that. That's
Yeah,
that's my thing. I want to see how
dude.
they overcome that. I know it's going to be
Um,
very very emotional.
Black Panther's mom, was it Ramonda,
Oh,
played by Angela
Ramonda,
Bassett?
bruh.
Her lines, man, hit hard. Her
Bro,
delivery of her lines,
it's Angela Bassett, bro.
like
It's Angela Bassett, bro.
when she was saying how she's lost everyone, dude, every line
Bro,
I've heard
the
in
the
these
the, the
trailers
line the
just
line the line where she's like, "Oh, show them who we are," and then
yeah,
they reveal Shuri as Black Panther. Oof,
dude,
bro, spine
every line
tingling.
I just can't, like, every line is just hot fire
It's
out of her
it's
mouth.
it's great. It's great.
Absolute
Ryan
hot
Coogler.
fire.
Oh yeah, fun little tidbit. Actually, this was revealed. This will be my final little input on this movie for now until the movie releases. Ryan Coogler did reveal this past week to Entertainment Weekly that he considered walking away from filmmaking as a whole
Oh wow,
after Chadwick passed.
that's
That's how
wild.
that's how
Mm.
hard his death hit him.
Yeah, man.
Which is, I mean, it's understandable. He became a good friend to you.
Hmm.
This is someone you were working with for years. You were in the midst of working on this movie specifically with him. That tragedy happens. You got to go back and deal with that,
Yeah,
and you got to rework this movie as a whole while dealing with that. And
yeah.
then you kind of have to relive that grief and mourn again as you're doing the press tour for this, leading up to release. It's a lot, man. So I mean, kudos to the entire cast
Yeah.
and
Mm.
Ryan Coogler, everyone who's worked on the film to be able to overcome such a loss and still, deal with what they were dealing with personally and at least professionally to get this movie off the ground and obviously get made for us to feast on essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on from that, this tidbit of news, I'm gonna be honest, has me a little bit concerned. So Michael Waldron, the writer of Loki season 1, the writer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, has been tapped and is set to write the script for Avengers Secret Wars. Now, given how Loki, not saying Loki turned out bad, okay, Loki was all right.
I thought Loki was fire. I thought Loki was fire.
Multiverse of Madness. Eh. Now, that's why I'm concerned. I'm not concerned because of what he did with Loki, but I'm more concerned with how Multiverse of Madness turned out and how he wrote around that big old multiversal plot. Secret Wars is something that's major. It's gonna have implications literally on every universe. It's like I just don't feel like the man can kind of tackle that. When Multiverse of Madness is really testing the waters, if you really want to think about it, and it kind of didn't deliver. So I don't know. I'm a little scared about this news and the fact that he's writing this script.
Whoa.
But maybe Marvel knows something I don't know.
Probably. I'm cool with it.
Exactly. I'm like I loved the hell out.
Loki, I love the hell out. Loki I thought was fire.
Yeah, Loki was.
I thought Loki was fire.
Yeah,
Loki was alright. Like I said, I'm not saying Loki was.
You keep bad. Saying all right. I thought it was fire.
It was all right. I'll say it was all right.
Yeah. No, I loved it. So yeah, there's 2 against 1 here, so I'm just throwing it out there.
But I'll stay in the minority. I have no problem.
Exactly, it's fine. When it comes to Multiverse of Madness, I think
I enjoyed it.
When it was on high, but there was a few lows. Obviously, there was a few lows, but that's like any bigger movie and everything. Obviously, had the way that he played Wanda. That I don't. Again, we don't also know where the rumor happens. We don't know how much the director gets to say and cut shit out and everything and do other stuff. Right. We don't know where freaking the mouse cuts, brings down Excalibur and shit, fucking slices that thing in half or whatever. We won't know until later on in the process, or we find out that, hey, guess what? We got a new writer for Secret Wars because such and such is creative differences and such. That's always what's going to end up happening. If he's not up to the challenge, if he's not giving a script that seems like Kevin Feige is going to be like, hey, this is it. You know what I mean? I think we could run with this.
Well, I even feel like even Kevin, I'm cool for people, Kevin Feige letting these creatives, whether it be, writers, directors, create, let them create, let them bring their flavor. But it comes to a point where, a lot of people complain about studio meddling and all that stuff. In some instances, when it comes to certain movies, the studio meddling is needed. Like Thor: Love and Thunder, for example.
They didn't meddle enough, and that was the problem.
Was a case in point in which you need to kind of meddle.
They should have.
Quick notice on that. Go ahead. I still almost disagree that they should have, because at the end of the day, though I would have wanted a different movie, I don't know, I just feel like still at the end of the day, it's they should be letting these guys have a lot more freedom. They probably should have, there should have been more approval in the beginning part of it, at least with the script and stuff like that. But in general, I don't know, I still think if they fail, they fail. I know we want every movie to be a banger, but sometimes you have to try something new to see that it doesn't work. I don't necessarily
want every movie to be a banger. I don't want every movie to be a banger.
Sometimes things won't work though, and I just Thor: Love and Thunder didn't work.
For example, going back to Love and Thunder, since I finally watched it a while back. This is there was serious storylines there. You know what I'm saying? That really didn't.
Did you say storylines?
Storylines.
I understood.
I thought you said storylines.
I heard storylines.
No, storylines. If I said storylines,
I thought you just stuttered. Okay,
storylines. Yeah.
No, you can say storylines. No, I'm fine with that too. Actually,
no, it kind of works.
Hashtag. Hey, some storyline.
But yeah, there were some serious storylines with Jane, Gore and stuff like that. That just honestly, didn't really hit as well as it should have, to be completely
Mhm.
honest.
Yeah.
And that's all due really to the writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not critiquing the direction of the movie because it's beautifully shot. It is probably one of the better shot Thor movies since probably the initial Thor and since Ragnarok even. Whatever. There's some cool scenes in Ragnarok. There's some really cool scenes in the first Thor movie. But yeah, story wise, it just didn't hit. So when it comes to like big movies like that have like big storylines, and then something like Secret Wars that you have kind of been leading, which is all of the combination of all of Phase 4 and Phase 5. This is such a huge like ship to kind of guide and navigate. And someone who's really kind of stumbled a little bit with a multiversal story, as small scale as it was, or as already, yeah, I think you will need to be a little concerned when you task them with tackling such a massive story like Secret Wars. You know what I'm saying? So
So we got to also take into consideration they might not make it in the scale that we hope. And that's one of the biggest fears that it could be
right.
because of the fact that right now they're just slowly expanding the universe, right? Secret
Mm-hmm.
Wars could turn out to be technically the scroll and Kree war itself. You know what I mean? It can actually just be
It could
more
be
of
smaller
that.
scale,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? They can literally screw us with what the original
You're right.
Secret
You're
Wars
right.
was. You know what I mean? Or they could even go like a cheaper route and just be like all these little CGI moments of everybody just like what we know from the comics and then
Mm-hmm.
just focus on this one world. You know what I mean? So it's like they can excuse me, they could fuck us like very easily. You know what I mean? For what we wanted, like you know what I mean, from what we're like us comic book fans want and what we've read, they can do completely the opposite. You know what I mean? Because right now,
Right.
as we can see, obviously the mutants are just about to come in. You know what I mean? Technically, Wanda hasn't been
Yeah.
said that she's a mutant yet. Kamala Khan, she's not inhuman anymore. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
none of this is canon to the comics. You know what I mean? This is the MCU
Right.
itself.
No, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
obviously.
know what
And
I mean?
I'm
But
not,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I try not to look back at the source material and be like, well, this is what I want. Because I know at
Yeah.
the end of the day, yeah, I can read the
Mm-hmm.
source material all I want. That's
Mm-hmm.
I might not I'm I'm lucky if I get
See,
even a callback to what
Yeah.
happens in the
mm-hmm.
comic books.
And
You know what I'm
also
Mm-hmm.
saying?
with
Like,
with how
Well,
grand
we have
scale.
name. I'm sorry. So we have Namor literally in a speedo and wings on his feet. So we got something.
Yeah.
We're getting
no, no,
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
We're
to,
get
to to what Ed was saying, like it is like the event is such a grand scale. It is kind of hard to condense all of that into a 2 hour and 45 minute movie. So
Yeah.
who knows what kind of how big or small the scale will be of that movie and
right.
its consequences and repercussions and everything. Because like no matter what story you tell, they got like maybe 2 hours and 50 minutes tops to
Yeah.
tell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long movie, but
Yeah.
that's not a lot of
The,
time in the grand scheme of things.
I would assume the Avengers ones will hit almost 3 hours.
Yeah,
They
I'm
they
sure they
need
will.
to.
Yeah,
They need to. Like
100%.
that's the only way that makes sense, especially if they're going to have a whole cast at least, like
Yeah.
compared to
So
everything
you're
Yeah, I
else.
looking
mean,
at
But
between
something
two
like
hours and 50
Secret
minutes
Wars,
and
something
three
like Secret
hours.
Wars, if they're going to scale of Endgame at least,
mm-hmm.
because I think going back to the scale of how they do things, I think we'll get something close to Endgame scale, like that third act of
Mm-hmm.
Endgame. I think
Mm-hmm.
they can probably go a little bit bigger than that in terms of scale. Nothing as grandiose as they did in the comics. You might need a 5 hour movie for that,
Mm-hmm.
or you might
Fair
just
enough.
have
Yeah.
to split it into two parts again, like you did
Yeah,
Infinity
yeah,
War.
yeah. Infinity
Yep.
War.
So, and I don't think they're gonna. I think having Kang Dynasty and then having Secret Wars is essentially one giant Avengers film, literally just split into parts. They just didn't announce it as part one.
Mm-hmm.
Part two,
Fair
you're gonna
enough.
get Kang first, fucking up the multiverse. It's all gonna
Mm-hmm.
culminate in Secret Wars, and then there goes your big bang,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. So,
Wait, I thought it was Secret Wars and then Kang Dynasty.
is it?
I thought it was Kang then
No,
Secret.
I think it was Kang
I can't
first, and
remember.
then Secret Wars.
Where
I'll
was
double
the
check
one
it now.
after that though? Wait, there was only two Avenger movies, right? These both.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yep.
whatever comes first, I guess. Like, I don't know. I feel like Secret
All right,
Wars would
so
make more sense.
Kang Dynasty comes out May 2nd, 2025.
Okay.
Let me see. Secret Wars. They both come out the same year, but Kang Dynasty comes out first in May, and then Secret Wars
Wait,
drops in
two Avengers
November.
movies in the same year? Damn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Small
May
scale.
2nd, 2025. May 2nd, 2025 is Kang Dynasty.
Okay.
And then November 7th, 2025 is Secret Wars. So yeah,
I mean, I'm sure a
essentially
lot of
that's
these
your
things
part.
will
That's
get
your
moved
part one
around.
and your part two.
I'm sure a lot of these things will get moved around too.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's all I really got for Michael Waldron. I'm just concerned. I'm very hesitant to be excited about this news
I'm
because
concerned with everything, dude. I don't care. You know what I mean? Obviously, like we're gonna be like I was like, you're gonna do like Ragnarok again. I'm like, and it sucks because I'm like, I love Taika, man. I fucking love a lot of the shit he produces and the directs. He's amazing,
Taika
dude.
is great, and this is no knock at Taika. It's just like
No.
that's his comedic sensibility. It just doesn't work for everything in
Yeah.
the MCU. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a time and place for that comedic sensibility.
Yeah.
And this is no knock on his writing because when he's really hitting it out the park, the man is hitting it out the park. The man is talented. He knows how to write. He's his comedic timing is great. Obviously, he knows how to deliver a joke, and his direction. You can't question that. The guy has a visual prowess when it comes to directing his films. So yeah, it's just in terms of it, just things are just a little too overly. It becomes satire at this point. It's like I don't want Thor to be a satire movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but. That's all I got for Michael Waldron and Secret Wars. that was a lot. I didn't think I had that much to say, but I think I went off the rails a little bit. But that's okay. But yeah, so moving on from that, there's a nice little rumor coming out of this next piece of news after confirmed news was revealed earlier this week. So Emma Caulfield, obviously you guys might remember her as Dottie in WandaVision. Wanda's neighbor. She's returning in Agatha Coven of Chaos. Then a couple days later, a rumor popped up on the internet saying that Evan Peters was in talks to reprise his role in the MCU. And it's possible that it could be for Agatha Coven of Chaos. I'm going to go on the limb and say, since they're bringing everybody back from all the universes, they might bring him back as a multiversal variant of Quicksilver again. Maybe for Secret Wars. Who knows?
Who knows?
But
I still can't believe this movie's getting made.
I think it's a show.
Or TV is a show. The show.
Yeah,
I can't believe the show is. I can't believe the show is getting made. I just really had like.
It's yeah.
If it doesn't bring back Wanda, I don't see what it can really do. But at the same time,
do we know is this this is pre or after?
I'm gonna assume this is after.
Yeah.
I mean, given that it says Coven of Chaos, I'm gonna assume it's take place in the past and then jumps
maybe
to the present at some point to where she's at.
Because like there's a lot they could do with diving into like because like the Marvel really hasn't dived too much into magic.
Yeah.
You know, aside from like Doctor Strange has gone into it like a lot, but like there's also like different forms of magic and like a lot of like the stuff, you know, like witches and whatnot. Like we haven't seen, we just saw a glimpse of that, you know, when they were trying to, you know,
do that thing.
Yeah. But like I feel like they could have an interesting thing diving more into that. But I don't know. I just was still super surprised this is a thing.
Well, remember, Agatha was a huge piece of like, you know, Marvel, you know, lore and all that kind of stuff, especially in the comics.
Especially when it comes to Wanda, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, she's actually one of the biggest parts of what WandaVision was, you know what I mean? Vision having his family and all that kind of stuff. Wanda having House of M start and all that kind of stuff. She was a big part. She's the one that kind of like tried, like, and again, she's not a hero nor a villain. She's just on her own fucking shit. So, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised. Honestly, she was, you know what I mean? Yeah, she really is though. You know, I'm not surprised. She was honestly one of my favorite things in WandaVision. You know what I mean?
I did enjoy her.
I still to this day, almost a year and change later, almost 2 years later, I still be singing Agatha all along, bro.
Yeah,
randomly.
Dude. I'm saying so. It was like it was literally Loki and WandaVision for my top one of the first like set of like new like TV shows for Disney Plus, and I'm like, and I still stick by that. I'm like, yo, Loki and you know, WandaVision were like the top for me. You know, so it's just like I don't, again, I'll watch it. I'm gonna consume the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Hopefully it just
As we
gives us
always do.
something. You know what I mean? Let's hope it gives us something. That's what I'm
Let's hope
hoping.
we actually get Mephisto this time.
Yeah, oh my god. It's somebody, right? Like at least
The
somebody.
funniest thing will be if Marvel never adds Mephisto into the MC.
You
Bro,
know
do you
what?
know how funny that would be? Do you know
That
how
shit,
funny that would
like,
be?
we're like,
Years
yo,
later, we
we're
never get
like
him.
10 years, we're like another 10 years down the line. They're on phase 9.
Yeah.
And we
Never
just,
got
people are still like,
Mephisto.
Mephisto?
You know,
Where's
the only way we
Mephisto?
will ever get Mephisto, if they actually give us Ghost Rider in the MCU, we'll get Mephisto because he's the only one that creates Ghost Riders.
No, it's gonna happen.
There's no other way to, like, make a Ghost Rider without Mephisto. So
They'll definitely
And
be
so why
using
did we
Ghost
well,
Rider at some point.
why didn't we get
100%.
Mephisto? Why didn't we get Mephisto in the Nicolas Cage movies?
that's who knows.
Because
That's Sony.
many
Mephisto.
reasons.
Who the fuck
Mephisto. There you
knows?
go. Mephisto. Where is
They
Mephisto?
also
The fly on the
they
wall.
also might not have had, they probably, I'm assuming
Probably didn't have the
they
rights.
probably only have the
Mhm.
rights to just,
Ghost
to
Rider.
just Ghost
Yeah.
Rider.
They
Yeah.
probably also just thought that they would have like 3 or 4 movies to be like, oh, this is going to be it. We're going to have such a franchise. And then,
But also there wasn't really any like Marvel lore in those movies. It was just
Nah.
like,
Yeah,
It
they
was
were
very-
it
super
was just
self-contained.
Ghost.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind
they
of like a
were very
Blade.
self-contained.
Yeah, it was a Blade
Yeah.
situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There
exactly.
weren't really many Easter eggs.
Yeah,
Not
none
enough
whatsoever.
Easter eggs for the
Yeah.
YouTubers. But yeah,
No.
moving on from that to El Muerto, starring Bad Bunny. The movie has found a director in Jonas Cuarón. So he's gonna be directing that movie. I mean, there's not much to really.
Now this
So
movie,
that's
I can't
what I
believe
don't
is
understand.
happening.
Thank you. I agreed. I'm like, I still don't understand, but continue. I don't even want to stay on it. I don't want to even give it like
Sony
breath.
is just like,
the thing is, as much as popular as Bad Bunny is, there's not much to. What is there to really speak on here?
yeah,
What the man has only appeared in 2 comic books.
bro. Sony literally has like a top hat, and there's like a bunch of like pieces of paper inside with like Spider-Man related characters that they have rights to, and they're just reaching in and just going, all right, whichever I get. All right, El Muerte, we're making a movie. That's seriously, I feel like that's that's like their game plan. Just like whatever they pick
honestly,
out of their ass.
Honestly, since Bad Bunny has been every single year as the months go by skyrocketing in popularity and in pop culture, he's become such an icon, a staple of pop culture at this point. And him doing his acting debut in Narcos, coming out recently in Bullet Train, which is also a Sony movie. I think Sony is just like, being the cash cows that they are. They're just like, we gotta milk this, we gotta milk Bad Bunny for all he got. Let's give him a Marvel movie. Let's make him the lead in Muerto. This guy only has 2 comic book appearances. That's it. We can do it.
Does he really only have 2 appearances?
He is only in 2 issues worth of Spider-Man comics. He has never appeared in comic books ever again since.
That's wild. Like,
wild.
think about how much money they're investing into someone who's appeared twice.
Wild. So it's like, I don't know what else to say. I can't go based on the comics
would make
and be
sense.
like, you know what? Maybe they'll do X, Y, and Z with El Muerto. No, I can't. I can't do that.
This kind of announcement would make sense if like right after the Catwoman movie, like that, it would make sense in that timeline. Like in that timeline, like yeah, with Bad Bunny, like this character that like no one knows anything about, produced by Sony, and people would be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then it would have like basketball scenes with like 30 cuts.
Now we're gonna watch him training as a wrestler and shit. You know what I mean? Having a montage of wrestling matches and shit
with 200 cuts every 10 seconds.
Yo, honestly, now that I think about it, he's a wrestler. You know what will be some crazy shit?
He doesn't even talk.
No, not even that. Not even that. What if this movie is set in the Raimi universe? Right? And we have him as a wrestler in the early years of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man when he was the human spider.
Oh, yeah. I remember. If that's a way to bring in Tobey Maguire for his next movie or some shit, that'll be hilarious.
There's no way they're even thinking about that.
Yo, do you think Sony thinks about this, like shit like this? I don't think they do.
They could care less about bringing back Tobey. Like, listen, I love Tobey, and Andrew is pretty cool for the most part, but like, there's no way Sony cares. I just don't believe they care at all.
I'm just trying to
Like,
give them a creative benefit of the doubt.
nope.
You know
They
what I
are
mean?
right
And
now
just,
trying to come up with a plot of how they can use Bad Bunny in like the coolest, hippest way. Like that's
bro,
all they're thinking, bro.
there's set
There's no way
photos
they're
that
thinking of like how they can incorporate this with like comic book
there's
related
set
things
photos of
and
Madam Web
nostalgia with.
with a random Spider-Man. So it's like I don't know
That's
what
most
I
likely Kane. Yeah, I'm thinking it's most likely Kane.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like,
So
okay, what are you doing? But anyway, enough about El Muerto and shit, Bad Bunny.
Wait, we got
We
any
did
news about what do you call it? Craven the Hunter? Haven't
no,
heard
he's an
anything about
animal
that.
lover.
Haven't
An
heard anything
animal
about
lover,
that
I'll
in a
tell you that
while.
much. He's definitely an animal
Oh.
lover, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, moving on to Spawn. The movie obviously stars Jamie Foxx. It recently announced this week that it has 3 writers writing the script. So you got Scott Silver, Malcolm Spellman, and Matthew Mixon writing the script. I'm not sure why you need a trio of writers to write the script for this movie, but here we are.
It's starring Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I ain't even mad. Jamie Foxx is
oh,
entertaining
I
shit.
thought they did. I thought they scrapped that though.
Nope.
Oh,
Remember,
good.
you asked, I think, didn't you ask him about that when we interviewed him for New York Comic Con a few years back? Because that's when the movie was announced at the time.
I don't think he ever mentioned Jamie Foxx, but
No,
no, I
no,
meant Jamie Foxx being still like being Spawn. But he did mention he was like, no, yeah, he mentioned it a bunch of
he
times.
mentioned in that.
He was like, oh
There you
yeah,
go. Quick
definitely more
plug and
Spawn.
shameless plug. If you
Yeah.
guys want to check out our interview with Tom McFarlane from New York Comic Con a few years ago, that's on our YouTube channel. Go check that out. But yeah, I know the movie was announced at the time. I'm not sure if Jamie Foxx was announced as Spawn at the time, but Jamie Foxx is playing Spawn in this movie. But yeah, it has 3 writers.
Why not?
Yeah, 3 heads are better than one. I'm
I don't
assuming.
know.
So
yeah. Well,
But
again,
yeah.
usually they have like 2 writers, or like the director is also a writer, so
right,
that
right,
when they
right,
do
right.
stuff. Yeah,
Right. I mean,
whatever.
it's not often that you see a trio of writers to write one script. You know, it's a duo.
Unless what they're doing is that never mind. I don't want to talk about it. Go continue. I'll
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
it
no.
next
I
time.
want to hear it now. I want to hear it now. I want to hear it now.
Okay,
I want to
fine.
hear it
So they can do
now.
it. They can do it a couple of ways, because obviously you know that right now in the comics, McFarlane started doing a whole Spawn universe thing. So there's
Right.
multiple different freaking Spawns all over the place and everything, and they all have their own little storyline and all that kind of
They
stuff.
go multiverse.
Yeah,
They
maybe a
went
multiverse.
multiverse.
They could go multiverse, trying to like just jump ahead of it and shit, right? Or they can go as simple as this, like they can show maybe like 3 different actual shorts in the sense, right?
Nah, I
That
don't
all
think they'll do that.
connect. Well, think about it. Like that's what. So maybe because they want a different feel for each one of these writers, but telling the same story, getting to the same point, right? But they're at different spots. You know what I mean? All to get to one point and everything. And maybe they just want them to write those few scenes, like those 30, 40 pages worth and going. I don't know. I think I would do
That's
that.
a super risky move for a newly introduction for a character that's been sidelined for a long time.
I'm just saying again, it just has to be like there's just a different
If
flavor.
done right,
I don't know. It could happen. It could
if
work.
done right though, since everything is super multiverse now, if really everything in media now is multiverse.
Yeah.
Whether it be Marvel, DC, shit, Paper Girls, whatever the case may be, everything now is fucking multiverse. So I think if they put out this movie with what Ed is kind of theorizing there a little bit, and which direction this movie can go, and capitalize on the multiverse hype that's going on right now, I feel like it can work. But
did you
it
guys
has
ever
to be properly executed though.
have you guys looked up the it's a fan film by someone I forget the name, but it was like he's like there's like a kid that's like lost in like a store, and like there's like this thing trying to like like coax him, like it's like talking to him, and then like Spawn appears. It's really good. Look up Spawn fan film. There's like a kid like in a store or whatever. He has like a necklace or something like that. But like it's really good, and the effects are also really good.
They're probably playing off of a storyline or something like that, kind of like how they do with the Sandman. You see, okay, so there you go. You see how the Sandman does it in most of those episodes. It's not always directly he's responsible for everything, but he's always connected to it.
I have
You know
not
what I
finished
mean?
the. I
Oh
have
yeah,
not.
you haven't
Yeah, I gotta
fucking
finish.
gotten
Yeah,
even further. Fucking hell.
Wait, which one?
I haven't
What
gotten
are you
further.
So
finished?
you know,
There's so much
so
stuff that's been coming out. I haven't
oh
been able to
god.
go back to that.
So Sandman, you remember, you know how like his stories are usually always like they're a different story. They're giving us a different aspect somewhere else on the world. He's
Right, right.
always indirectly like you know what I mean, like a part of it for
Mhm.
some whatever reason, but he doesn't always need to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like throughout the rest of
Right,
it
right.
until the very end, he's like, "You called me, all right? Now I'm here, or I'm fixing this
Mhm.
shit." So Spawn could do that if they don't go the multiverse route, because Gunslinger Spawn is apparently one of the biggest names right now out there. King Spawn, no
Yeah,
less, and
his
shit.
comic
They're
is
big.
selling like hotcakes right
Yeah,
now.
it's insane. And so like if they don't go that route, they can go like a Sandman route. There's plenty of things that hey, Spawn sees that he's like, I fucked up, I missed it. You know what I mean? So I might as well, I need to keep on moving on. And it's just these different plot points that all go to
Mhm.
the same point. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe that's what they're doing, or maybe they just all want to have fun together, get paid. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're
that's
making
true.
a
That's
pod
also true.
together. I don't need you guys,
Right,
right?
right. You don't need us.
No, honestly, it is
But
hard
yeah,
to do a pod by yourself. I'm just saying. So the same thing with
it
scripts, I'm
is.
sure. So
It
we'll just
is.
go from there.
But yeah,
Let's
so
move on.
moving on, moving on to Titans season 4. This week we got our first official look at Brother Blood, Jinx, and Mother Mayhem. Obviously, one thing that we mentioned this on this pod multiple times. The suits and Titans are just exquisite and always good to look at. The writing though, that's another story for another day.
That's the hardest part about
But
it. Fucking
I
hell.
did start. I watched another episode or two of that, and it's just. I just feel
it's
like.
it's hard. It's hard.
Can you
I
just
just feel like.
finish Sandman first then? Like
I
finish
know. I
Sandman. You
know.
just made this excuse. And I'm like, you're going back to Titans though?
I
You
watched
have
one episode
time.
one day. I watched one episode one day.
Well, that was the problem. You also need to
But
watch the whole
yeah,
season of Titans to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem.
right,
I feel
right.
like
Oh my
conflicts
god.
are just so like goofily manufactured in that show.
They
I can
are
see that.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
the
see that.
conflicts like
Yeah.
they just don't feel natural
Yeah.
at all. Especially like
Yeah.
the any infighting just feels super forced.
Oh man. Too
Yeah,
funny.
for a team that's supposed to have been who have had been teammates for years and years at this point. These are established Titans.
Yeah. I just feel
Like
like everyone's like,
with
fuck
so much
you,
with so much
fuck you.
infighting, they're so
I'm
edgy and
done.
shit.
I'm
They're
Fuck
done
so
with this
edgy.
shit.
Batman though. Remember, fuck Batman. That was number one. Fuck Batman.
Yo,
Oh,
I would never
this is the last
forget.
thing I gotta say.
I will
Why does
never forget
everyone in
that.
this world know Bruce Wayne is Batman? Why does everyone know?
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows Bruce is Batman in Titans. At least like all the heroes.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense. Most of the
Like all
heroes,
the
he told
no,
them.
like even like Titans, like no Bruce
He
Wayne
told
is
them.
Batman.
Oh, he told them. Dick Grayson tells them. That's pretty
Yeah,
much
I
what
know,
it is.
I
Like
know, but
they,
it's just like it's like wild how
yeah.
many people know his secret
Oh
identity.
yeah, and also Raven kept on just spouting it out all day, like because like every single time she touched something, she was like, "Did you know Bruce Wayne's Batman?" Like, "Oh yeah, you know he's Robin." Like, "Hey, you know this?" It's like, "Oh, I saw it in the vision," and it's like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, Raven! Like, this is a fucking
No.
secret identity, bro."
Word.
I mean,
Your father's a literal demon and shit. It's like, hunt him off. Why
Well,
you
we haven't
spouting
been
this shit?
asking, right? We haven't asked. We haven't been telling everyone, "Hey, you're gonna kill everyone because of your ass." Like fucking spawn a Satan and shit. No, but yeah, that's what's happening.
Quite literally. That's the crazy part. Quite fucking
Oh
literally.
god, so great show. I still enjoyed it. A lot of problems though. A lot of
For what
problems.
it's worth, there are some enjoyable moments. I'm
Yeah.
still upset they kind of wrote off Dove off the show.
Yeah. See, oh, she was.
Is
Mm, mm,
uh,
mm. Even Hawk, I'm still sad about that too. I'm not gonna front, but you don't know
bro,
about that yet, Boozer.
yeah,
You don't know about that. But it was
no.
one of the best episodes that they made.
Oh, and then the emotional effects after that with Dove.
Why
Boozer,
couldn't we just finish it there? Oh god, when you get to those episodes, you're gonna be disappointed after.
Right, exactly. But yeah, we'll say that for another day. But yeah, no, we got those first look at Brother Blood, Jinx, and Mother Mayhem. There'll be more looks coming at New York Comic Con this weekend. There's a hour-long hour and some change, I think, on Sunday.
Nice.
For Titan season 4, we'll get a first look, most likely a teaser trailer. Brenton Thwaites is going to be there. They're going to have some surprises and stuff like that. This is all from the official press release. for Titan season 4. So obviously they're making it a big deal. For those who don't know, New York Comic Con, when the first season dropped, was where they premiered the season. It was this nice sort of, as a nice ass venue. I was invited to that again, but that was super nice. But we also going to have since Doom Patrol is kind of related. Season 4 Doom Patrol is also going to have a panel this weekend at New York Comic Con. We're going to get a first look at the new season. The stars are going to be there. Brendan Fraser is going to be there, by the way. So obviously, Diana Guerrero is also.
She's there. I know she's there all weekend. I think too. She's doing her photo ops and such.
Yeah. Crazy Jane. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, Doom Patrol season 4, Titan season 4, New York Comic Con. You guys get the gist. But yeah, moving on from that, Five Nights at Freddy's. Anybody played Five Nights at Freddy's before? No, nobody.
I'm familiar with the game, but I've never played it.
I mean, I never played it. I've seen gameplay. I never played it. But Blumhouse is making a live action movie out of this video game.
Why not?
Obviously, horror. I mean, it kind of works.
BRB.
So Emma Tammy will be directing this live action film. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with Jim Henson's Creature Shop. They've done a bunch of animatronics in Hollywood, like for the past 20, 30 years. And I believe they also worked on the animatronics for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the 90s. So they got that team to work on the animatronics for Five Nights at Freddy's. So we're gonna get some good shit in terms of animatronics for this movie, and then obviously the big news is gonna start filming sometime in 2023. But yeah, moving on from that, the Penguin series for HBO Max. Obviously, that's gonna be a spinoff of the Batman from Matt Reeves' recent film. So yeah, we got Colin Farrell. Let me not say Colin. Why did I say Colin? Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell will be starring in that series, and then Craig Zobel, who directed Mayor of Easttown for HBO, is also currently in talks to direct the Penguin series for HBO Max, where production aiming to begin this coming January. So at the very beginning of the year. So
Colin Farrell, got it.
Colin Farrell. Yep, Colin.
Somebody gotta get. You gotta get a check, Farrell. Man. Get a check.
Gotta get that cleanse. Gotta get that check. You know what I mean?
We're at that
Stay
age.
healthy. Bone cancer is no joke.
Damn it. I was still laughing when you said that, and I was like,
"Yeah, that. I'm sorry. It got dark real quick. I'm sorry. We were up here, and then I just went like that.
Good job.
That's how I do sometimes. I apologize. But yeah, moving on to Keanu Reeves and his Berserker live action film, which is going to be dropping on Netflix at some point. He has shown interest in wanting to essentially make his directorial debut with this film, as he's shown interest in wanting to not just star in the movie, which he'll be playing the lead role of the Berserker, but he also wants to direct the film. So outside of producing it, probably going to help out writing it, starring in it. Is the Renaissance.
Have you guys read Berserker yet at all, or no?
Not yet, no.
No, not at all. But I know it's very very popular.
I don't know how. Okay, but it's interesting. Okay. I'll be honest. If you like action sequences and everything like that, art and all that kind of stuff, this is a great book. This book is nonstop, like freaking John Wick times Matrix, and like
so there you go. That's why it's popular. That's why.
Probably and it's one of the easiest reads that you could ever have, except for like maybe so far 3 issues, and it's only a 12 issue run right now. We're on issue 11, I want to say. No, issue 10 or 11. And
you should be on 10 at the moment,
most likely, because I want to say if we're probably both right, like it's coming up, but I just found out it's ending at 12. So there's only so much story, so I don't see how it's going to be like I guess as a Netflix movie, sure, you know what I mean, but it's just action. That's really all it is, and the story is, there's some interesting points here and there, but
right,
there's not. I feel like I think it just needs to finish first before they jump the gun. That's all I'm worried about, because I'm like, I feel like I'm going to have a disappointing ending for these 12 issues, I again fan of Keanu. I love him and everything. Matt Kent is co-writing it with him, so on the comics. So I wouldn't be surprised he brings him in for the Netflix stuff, but I feel like there's just not enough to really say like, yo, this is even worth a Netflix film yet. Like it's
maybe Netflix just wants their own John Wick movie.
Yeah, I mean, what was the movie with I think it was Charlize Theron
The
where
Old
she's
Guard?
like
Old Guard.
the old guard.
Yeah.
That was I mean that was fun. It definitely skimped
it
on
was
the
all right.
story.
It,
I
it,
enjoyed it.
it did nothing for me, unfortunately. I know it did numbers.
I didn't
I
get a
mean,
chance to watch it yet, but I've been meaning
I
to.
enjoyed it. It was a lot. It was focused more on action than
Okay.
story. It had some good teases of some like lore. You know, especially with one of the characters is talked about but not shown. You know, until like the very very end.
Right.
And that it kind of leaves off on a tease there. So there's definitely interesting lore. Probably should have focused a little bit more on the story. If there's another one, you know, hopefully it dives in a little bit more. But it did well, and it really, you know, like you know, Ozzy was saying, it did nothing for him. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna scream at the mountaintops for people to watch it, but you know, do something like that plus the name of Keanu Reeves and a book that's pretty popular at the moment. I mean, it's a pretty easy numbers game for Netflix.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. It's the covers are gorgeous. I'll tell you that much. Like especially when they do the metallic covers and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm like, I'll pay the extra $1 for it. I was like, fuck it. I was like, these are dope.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest.
Cool.
Sometimes I'm not even reading a comic book series, but if I see that the cover is or the variant alone is super super nice, listen, I love artwork. I'm gonna buy it just to collect the artwork.
I'm an absolute sucker.
Art Germ or Jenny Freisen, dude. That's usually the reason why I buy double covers.
Art Germ variants. I'm only getting it for the art. I'm not getting it for anything else.
Oh, did you end up trying to get the fire variant for human target?
The fire variant?
Yeah, he made the fire, like you know how he has ice. He already made ice.
He just made
fire.
I'm still trying to find ice.
Oh, me too. It's gone. It's nowhere to be found unless you want to pay $50.
I can't get my hands on that shit. I can't get my hands on that shit.
Money on eBay.
I'm hoping now that I'll be in New York Comic Con this weekend. I can kind of walk the show floor a little bit and get lucky.
You're gonna see a stand that's selling it for like $60
for sure. Especially if it's a smaller vendor. Especially if it's a smaller vendor, they know it's hot. Bro,
if you have two copies under $20, let me know. I'll send you cash. But that's besides.
I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know. But yeah, we're done with the news. Let's jump into Andor. I don't know if you guys. I haven't watched the most recent episode of Andor. I was at a New York Comic Con screening yesterday, so.
Gotcha.
No worries. I didn't get to watch that.
So are we starting to She-Hulk then? Or we're going to She-Hulk?
No, let's jump into Andor first.
What the fuck is up with you, man? Why are you writing this shit like this? If you're not going to fucking
all over the place. Come on, man.
Oh, man. Killing me right now. Homie wants me to make cuts and shit for YouTube videos, and then he wants me to mix things up. You can't just. All right, I'm kidding.
No, you're right. No, you.
No, I'm fucking with you. No.
You're
We just told the fans we're going to do Andor. We're doing Andor.
We're gonna do Andor. Fine. But yeah, who wants to kick off Andor? Like I said, I
fucking hate this guy. God.
Who wants to kick off Andor? I have a lot to say about Stargirl and She-Hulk, but Andor, I can't. I don't have nothing to say. I didn't get to watch it, so. But you guys,
so because Boozer looks like he has a lot to say and he just doesn't want to be rude, and he's like, I'll just wait my turn. But Andor again, I think it's building up to something amazing. We said it was a 6 episode
6
run,
episodes.
right? So again, it's building up, giving us all the freaking.
Let me just double confirm.
Oh god,
wait, I thought it was wait.
Oh yeah. Before I finish this, let me see what happened. Let's see what we got.
No, you guys can talk. I'm looking it up.
Oh no, I wanted to hear what was looked up. What you looked it up?
I'm just looking up the episode count.
Okay, did you find it?
Is it 12? Is it really 12 episodes?
No shit, really?
Yeah, I read that it was 12 episodes, 2 seasons, so 24 episodes total.
Yeah,
What?
according
Holy
to the
shit.
answer, according to the internet. Okay, so we're at the mid-season point almost.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so 12 episodes.
so again, I love this because it's literally giving us the building blocks of the rebellion. You know what I mean? This is literally going to be the funding money to help the rebellion build up to where it needs to get to before Rogue One, right? They're doing a great job. I'm loving the acting. You know what I mean? My man's from a freaking Bear. I don't know if you guys seen the Hulu show Bear and everything yet. No?
You told me about it, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh my goodness, such a fucking great show. Because this dude that plays Shez, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in Bear, and he's also played in a number of other like movies that like I loved him in. He's a really good actor, very underrated. But he is so good, you know, showing all this like great emotion, the not trusting, obviously Andor, aka Clem in this case,
Mm-hmm.
but everything is like really building up the suspense. It's plans are working this way. I feel like this plan is literally going to go flawless. And this is when they build you up to feel like, okay, this can work. We're getting, and then the shit hits the fan. And I think that's what, because then they're going to need to have it, because that's what rebellions are. They're not every
Right.
plan is going to go off without a hitch. And this is what, like, he's literally going, like the homie that's like, that picked him up and shit from his main dude, the, oh god, I already forgot his name, but the one that he's helping with the rebellion, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the artifact store and shit, right? He's built. I think he's
Luthen.
literally Luthen. Thank you. He's going to literally just pimp out Andor for the rest of the season, saying, "Hey, we have another mission. Andor, go. Hey, Andor, over here. I got you another one." You know what I mean? He's literally going to pimp him out for the rest of the
Another
fucking
one.
season. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exactly how we can
Another
build
one.
this up, because Andor is going to be the fucking golden boy. Like, and that's what it's
Right.
like. You saw that he's like, so you'll see this Ozzy. He's like straight up, he's like straight up sunning these kids. Like, he's like, you don't know how to do this? You don't know how to do
Yo,
this. He was like,
yo,
you're fucking with me, right?
yo,
How the fuck do you not know this shit? I loved it. I
bro.
was like,
They were like
beautiful,
asking him
beautiful.
how they were like how would you find out the weight or whatever, and
Yeah.
he's like what would you do if you didn't have me? You
Yes.
didn't know that there's a thing to do the thing. He's like, what would you have done? And they were like, oh, we would have eventually figured out.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you
Exactly.
wouldn't have.
Straight up, like, custom job. This is the reason why I know. You just they don't have it on a regular thing when it flies. Like, but no, when it's on connected, it's custom. But yes, this is how you fucking do it. He was like, all right, I'm flying. He was like, fuck you guys. I'm not dying because of you. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
It's like, it shows it. It shows everything, man. Oh,
yeah. I don't know if any of you guys watch Criminal Minds, but there's a it's behavioral analysis.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They track down serial killers. But there's this one episode where the one of the lead characters, like kind of the boss, I forget his name. But he's in court, and someone was like questioning how good he is at his job, and
Mm-hmm.
the dude literally starts like some prosecutor. He starts analyzing like the shoes he's wearing, the socks he's
Mm-hmm.
wearing, the way he walks, and he's like, and you keep checking your watch. I can tell you're betting on the ponies, and you should be getting a notification right now. And then like his phone vibrates a little, and like the man just owns the shit out of him.
He was like
And and
Sherlock.
and freaking Andor in this shit. He was saying that the dude should, switch sides from lefty to righty,
Yes.
and she
Yep.
asks him why, and he's like, well, because he's left-handed, and she's like, what am I? And he's like, left-handed, right-handed, right-handed. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
he's right-handed, but he favors the left. He shoots
Yeah.
left or whatever. And I was like, yo, man's is just
So,
owning these
so
people.
and you know the best part is the last episode they made it like that last scene with them like giving him like the pot, like the pod and everything, like the pad and shit like that, saying like you need to learn this all by tomorrow morning type of shit.
Yeah,
Like he was like, but you could eat first, all right? And you saw the look on his face. He was just like, can I eat first? Like, and it even instilled doubt for you as a viewer, like,
yeah,
I was like, oh fuck, is he kind of like just like shooting the shit? They just fucked like, is he just big at like being fearless and able to
Mm-hmm.
kill people if he needs to? Like, because that's what it like, literally how she sold him. Like, he's like, oh, he's willing to kill if he needs to. Oh, he's good, this and that. So now it's like all his checks are cashed. This dude is worth every penny type of
Yeah,
shit.
my man's is just good with
I'm
it.
loving it.
Yo,
I
my
love it.
man's is just
I might we might have to I'm asking next week. We might need to skip next week so we have 2 episodes to talk about in a row. I'm just throwing it out there, but
hey,
like
I'm not gonna be here next week, so I'm good with that.
oh my god, yes, it works out perfect. So yeah, but like again, right now,
So you guys
Andor
hear
is so good,
mid episode. We're
dude.
off next week. We're off next
Dude,
week.
yeah, yo, I'm so for Andor.
Yeah,
Like
Andor's been just
so good.
absolute fire.
Listen,
Yo,
we said it last episode. We reviewed 4 episodes back to back essentially,
Mhm.
and we said it. Every single episode has been fine and on all cylinders. Like I said, I haven't watched this episode, but which I'm a little upset. I'm like, I look forward to it. As soon as tomorrow's Wednesday, we got that Andor
yeah,
dropping. We
dude,
got that Andor dropping.
the last episode 100% solidified that like my man just walked in and just took something. Like my man knows his shit. My man knows his shit.
See, now we need to find out why he ran or why he was the cook. You know what I mean? Like, if he was this good,
Yeah.
why? Like, who did he? Whose wife did he f that like demoted his ass to the kitchen? Like, I need to know. Like, and this is, I think, again, this is some pure, beautiful Star Wars building universe. Like, we're getting bits and pieces of stuff that we never seen before, and I think this is where what makes the Star Wars universe beautiful. As simple as that. I think it's so dope. I love it.
I only got one other thing to say, and that is basically I loved the thing I like about Andor is I feel like it almost it has like a grand scope of like we're seeing a lot of planets and stuff like that, but it is also like it's bringing things such to a small scope of us seeing all these different characters, and it feels like such a wide world, like universe that they're in. Even the small stories that they're telling with like Andor, and then you have that guy that was way too wanting to catch Andor.
Oh,
and,
that's
and
a
we're
whole other
seeing
level.
his journey of like him basically falling out of favor and basically losing his job. And then we're seeing what's his name, Luthen, who's clearly living these 2 very different lives.
Very
and then we see the senator who like cares about people, but like clearly the people in power and people with money don't. And like we're just seeing all these different, and I think we talked about this last time, is like for the events in the movies that we've seen to happen, for Luke to get his W and for all these other characters to get their W's, so many other people had to be a part of this to make those big events, those giant battles where everyone comes together. So many of these little lives had to exist to make those things happen. And it's so interesting seeing all these different perspectives, all these people trying to find their own way in this crazy big galaxy with these crazy, this crazy empire trying to take over the galaxy, and how everyone kind of sets in either with the empire or against the empire, or just trying to survive, and not really making a decision either way. I just think Andor is doing such a good job with that it's just like it's so interesting. I'm like so captivated when I'm watching like every episode.
I had to add to that because you said it. Like, so Mon Mothma says it to, like, because you can see the difference, right? Her personal lives is shit, like, because of what she's trying to do in the good for the world, and her husband is like a dickwad in her thing. It's not about money. And I love the line she said it. He's like asking her all the questions. He was like, why didn't you tell me about such and such and such and such? And she was like, oh, I would have, but you wouldn't have cared. He's like, why wouldn't I have cared? She was like, because it's about charity.
It's charitable.
And straight up, I was like, oh,
damn.
I was like, you're not getting nothing tonight.
Y'all getting divorced very soon.
I was like, you getting shit.
Y'all getting divorced very soon.
Also wanted to slap the shit out of her kid, but that's a different story. I'll get that going. But this
is a Disney show, damn it.
So many
this is a Disney show, damn
it. That husband, Garbaggio, absolute Garbaggio,
straight up.
This
like,
is
it's so many good things, guys. I love and it's this is what Star Wars is about. You know what I mean? Building up shit, and again, we know where this ends, but I'm really enjoying seeing the process.
The
It's
journey is
the
a fucking
journey is
ride,
amazing.
man.
Again, thank you, Andor. Thank you for whoever thought that Andor was going to be fucking profitable. Who thought that? Whoever thought he was going to do that?
Who would have thought?
No, there was two people. There was
yeah.
someone that thought Andor would be a great story, and then there was someone that was like, "This will also make money." So there's two people involved.
You know who you got to thank?
Greg in finance.
Tony, yeah, no, not Greg in finance. He would have made the decision. He would have greenlit. He would have gave Jar Jar Binks a solo series.
Oh my god, make him a Sith at least. Like that's the only way.
At that point,
that would bang. That would make so much money.
At that point, you got to. No, but Tony Gilroy is the creator of Andor, so I give major kudos to Tony Gilroy for creating this masterpiece.
That's it.
12 episodes.
Now I'm even more excited. Because shit's going to hit the fan by episode 8.
Bro, we got so much Andor to talk about still. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
I'm excited. I love it. I'm excited. We got so much Andor to talk about. But yeah, so Ed and I, we're going to get into Stargirl season 3, aka Frenemies. This listen, we got screeners for this, but I ain't watched the screeners because I'm just like, you know what? I'll just watch the first episode.
I did the same.
I'll just watch the first episode, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good with watching an advanced screener for just the first episode. But yeah, this show, man, I just cannot praise it enough for not just finding its footing all the way from season 1, but being able to halfway through season 3 still maintain that momentum it started off with, and to bring these characters and give these characters such interesting arcs, whether it's Courtney herself, whether it's everything that the JSA, this new version of the JSA, is dealing with, the infighting between all of them. Obviously, it plays with the title frenemies. These are friends who are either becoming enemies or enemies who are befriending each other. The big mystery that's surrounding the murder, or obviously spoilers if you haven't watched Stargirl, up until episode 5, spoilers. But the death of the gambler, who killed the gambler, there's so much stuff going on, and it's just so good. The action is still there, the emotional moments are still there. My heart, for Pat, bro. Him and Starman, and that what they're dealing with as not just former sidekicks, but as bros, as friends. I'm just like, y'all hitting me hard in this chest, and I just need y'all to stop. Starman, stop being so hard-headed and listen to your boy, man. He has your best interest. I know
he's also been alive for an extra 10 years plus compared to him.
Exactly. Like his mental state at where he's at, and then seeing where everything is at, what the JSA has become, not being able to let go and move on from where we meet him in season 1, and to have that inner conflict, that self-identity issue. I don't fit in here. He's a fish out of water at this point, and just see him struggle with that, and kind of teetering that gray area between where his moral compass is when it comes to what is it, the Justice Society? No, the Injustice Society. What am I talking about? But anyway, Stargirl has been great. The only real gripe I've had with Stargirl so far is Cameron's changed. He's gaining powers now and whatever. And his evil turn is like, if you really were going to give him an evil turn, I feel like it should have came a little sooner. Especially if he's going to be mad about, his dad getting murked, what I mean? Yeah. Then I feel like but I understand that they also want to take their time. They don't want to rush anything. Most of the stuff that they've delivered, they really have taken their time to kind of build towards and have a huge payoff by the end of it all, to make it that journey all worthwhile, essentially. So I'm not going to hammer it down too much in terms of how they're playing with that, and then that that transition. But again, I haven't seen this recent episode. I was at the screener last night, but so far, Frenemy Stargirl season 3 has been hitting every single beat that I've loved from season 1 and season 2. And I'm just super excited that the CW has been able to maintain what made it so precious, despite the little bit of watering down that obviously they were forced to do, essentially, to keep it on to keep the show alive, because obviously they probably weren't going to keep it alive on the HBO Max, but
Yeah, they should have, but
they should have. Yeah, but that's what I got. That's what I got. I mean, there's specific moments that we can definitely talk about. But if you want to get your thoughts out first, and then we can talk about specific moments,
no,
I'm all
totally.
for it.
We could do both. Yeah, no, I pretty much I echo everything you said. Like, I think this show is keeping up pace with everything it's done for the first 2 seasons. It's phenomenal. I saw this week's episode just earlier, like literally today. And it's just adding to it. Having Sydney, like, be the new addition, but also having all these little moments in between and all that kind of stuff that's still making you question, is it really her or not? It's just adding to the storyline, and I think it's like they're doing such a great job with everything. I'm excited to see, like, if Cameron just becomes the typical Icicle Junior as in the comics, and like, and they just make him into the villain, because it's like, I guess what's going to happen? Like, they need to make another Injustice Society again. You know what I mean? Or they're just leaving it as it is, and they're just going to have this one villain, and we'll see whoever it is next. Because that's what I'm more, I'm curious about, because I know this is still a long season. There's still plenty of like show to go on. Yeah. What is it, 13, 14 episodes or something?
13 episodes.
Yeah.
13.
So still halfway through. I'm sure this is just act 1 of act 2, like, of 2 acts at least, and we'll get to that point. But they're doing such a good job. I'm really enjoying it. I love Starman. He's doing great. I don't like you said, I don't like that he's, being such a jock to Pat, like, making him feel like he's a little shit. Like, he's like, no. You say that you're the sidekick. He's like, no, bro, he's not the sidekick anymore.
Not
Chill,
no more.
like, stop
not
that.
No more.
But again, this dude has PTSD. It's hitting him hard. Like, it sucks, because it's like, I'm like, oh, you feel for him, and this, in all essentiality, he should not be alive. So it's like, I get it. Let it fluster, like, get it out. Just do it.
Just get it out of your system. Just get it out of your system. Let it out. It's like I used to tell my son when he was smaller, he would just be crying for no reason. I'm like, you know what? Just let it out. Just let it out, bro. Just let it out. You'll be fine in like 5 minutes.
You stressed. Just fucking do it. You know what I mean? You're gonna get tired. One of the two. You're gonna get tired, or you have a lot more to say and shit. So it's really, it's doing such a good job. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Yeah. Again, it's having a CW moments here and there. Obviously, you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, you saw the episode. Obviously, it's a little campy with her relationship with Cameron, and all that kind of stuff.
That was super. That was so CW.
You know what I mean? Very CW.
I was like, oh, it hurts a little bit.
What can you do?
What, you get a pass.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. All right, have your little, Edward Scissorhand moment and shit like that. Seeing the snow coming down, I'm just like, all right, fine, take it. I was like, whatever.
It's all right. It's cute, CW. We get it.
I'm enjoying Yolanda. She's amazing as is. What I mean? Sydney's doing amazing. Even this girl as Dr. Midnight. She's coming in. She's making herself better.
She's grown on me now. She's grown on me now. Season 1, I had a very hard time. I'm like, and I think it was more not just the actress being how she was portraying the character. I think it's the way they were writing her, and then her dialogue. It just wasn't, at least for me, they just made her very, very useless. I'm like, this is a character who has heavy reliable tech. And you're just like kind of just like laying this character to the wayside over there, not really making them much useful, or essentially saying right straight up to her face, well, you don't have no real powers, you really can't do much. So just sit this one out. It's like that just rubbed me the wrong way for all of season 1 and for the better part of season 2. So now seeing her more in the forefront is like, no, listen, we need Beth this time. We need her this time. We don't know what to do. We need her smarts now. So it's like, use her, please, because when she's being used and she's written in a great way, she's a very interesting character. Well done. But when she's not written and that good sense is like, ooh, it hurts a little bit. But
Yeah.
she's coming. She's grown on me. She's coming.
Oh
In,
yeah,
she's
totally.
coming into her own. So I like
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Again, nothing major to say wrong with this series. They're doing a good job. I'm
Yeah,
happy
I mean,
that
I'm really
it's
enjoying it.
keeping its footing. I'm really happy. Like again, they fucked up like Eclipso for me, but you know what I mean. I liked it. I still
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
I
I
mean,
love the
listen,
actor. I love the
CW.
actor
Oh yeah, of
playing.
course.
He did a great job. It was just that they dumbed him down. I think that was my biggest gripe with
I
it.
feel like
So,
obviously this is because it's on the CW. If we
yep.
would have had him when they were on HBO Max or something like that,
Oh,
DC
we would have saw
Universe, if it was still,
blood. It would have
oh
been,
yeah, for sure.
you know what I mean? Should
And they
have
would have
died.
made that horror aspect that they had with him for season two,
Mm-hmm.
would have been elevated at least five more notches if it was
Oh,
like on
totally.
HBO Max or something like that.
Easily.
But
Easily.
listen, overall, no complaints
No,
really.
no much.
No much more, no mucho más, no tengo nada más que decir. So, but
Damn.
yeah, start. Listen, man, even the action stuff, like that fight
Oh
scene
yeah.
between Starman,
Mm-hmm.
Sportsmaster, and
Oh
Tigress
my god. So
in the
dope.
supermarket. Oh my
So dope.
god, bro,
So
so
dope.
good, so
It
good.
was
So I'm
dope.
just
Yeah.
like, yes, Starman, yes, I want to see you go toe to toe with Sportsmaster and Tigress
And
again,
they make
again.
even them getting kind of dumbed down to be the kind of better of
Mm-hmm.
themselves. They make me laugh.
They're
Their
great. I'm
little
not
shit.
mad.
I love them.
Yeah, they're great. They're
They're
great.
hilarious.
I love the cross. I love the cross, man. I love them. Even Artemis, where she comes in with her little
Yeah.
random ass, like like little bully moments and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Like to
Which
tell the
is
older sister.
I'm curious to see how they play her more. You know what I mean? Because like right now I hadn't she was not in any scene for the last episode, so
Yeah, I mean, no, I think
sh-
after the
yeah.
first episode, she hasn't appeared
Yeah.
much after that.
Was her beatdown of the of those crooks, that was episode one, or was it
That was
episode like,
episode one. That was
holy
episode
shit.
one.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah. We haven't seen
when they
her for
found
like multiple
yeah
episodes.
when they found Cindy, looking over Gambler's body essentially
Ooh,
at the end of that
that's
episode.
actually, yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm sure she has
I
plenty
mean,
of
I mean,
more
they've shown
dialogue.
her in the cafeteria, but like her being involved in the JSA as she's supposed to be is like
Mhm.
has been non-existent ever since.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
But
we'll
yeah,
see. I'm sure she'll make it there eventually.
eventually,
We'll
I mean,
see what
like
happens.
you said, we got 13 episodes, still a lot of story to tell. So,
No, yeah,
and I
totally.
like to see Artemis Croc, when she's fighting and shit.
Oh yeah.
Her action sequences be dope.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all we got for Stargirl.
Yes, yes.
For
Keep it
those
up.
who haven't watched Stargirl, again, we recommend it. I've been dying to talk about Stargirl, but I wanted to have some episodes kind of build up, kind
Mm.
of release
Oh yeah,
because
it was worth it.
it's hard when you get screeners and you can't talk about
Mm.
the show until the general public
Yeah.
watches it because like
Mm-hmm.
this is a weekly release. So yeah, we got the episodes a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't talk about spoilers until the episode premieres,
Mm-hmm.
which will
Yep.
could be months in advance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
down the line.
we would have had to rewatch it anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. Like, be like, oh fuck,
Exactly.
what was that again? But it was
Exactly.
great.
But
It's great, fun
it's
times.
great. But yeah, let's get into She-Hulk because She-Hulk finally Daredevil's finally here. Obviously, as you can tell by the internet buzz, the best episode of the season, according to everybody. Daredevil apparently stole the show. You know what I mean? It took everybody back to the Netflix series. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yo, Ozzy, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know what I mean? What do you mean? You know what, Boozer, you take it away, sir, because we just finished ranting.
but yeah, so Boozer, what do you think about Daredevil Born Again episode 8? I mean She-Hulk episode 8.
Listen, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Obviously this show is probably going to have a way more I'd say lighter side of Daredevil than we're probably going to see in his show. Perfectly fine with it. He makes jokes in the comics. He's not dead serious every single issue.
Mm-hmm.
He has very much a sense of
I'll
humor.
say my point.
He very much has a sense of humor. So that is on its own. I think his chemistry, I think him and Jen's chemistry was really good. I think their banter between each other in the courtroom, outside of the courtroom. I also especially like that she was like, they're trying to come up with a game plan, and he was like saying like what's gonna happen, and he's like, okay, I'll take these guys out, I'll be done in 10 minutes. And she's like, you know, oh, I'm not waiting here for a half hour for you to take out 15 guys. And he's like, that's not how that math works out. And he's like, listen, you don't do this superhero stuff, you do the lawyer stuff. This is not something you do. I do this all the time. Just follow my lead. I like really enjoyed that banter, and it, for me, it was nice seeing some of the more comic booky Daredevil aspects of him that we didn't get. And even the showrunner said like if they had the funds, they would have done more like acrobatics and stuff like that. But like we got to see him be that more comic booky agile character that's like more superhuman than human. And also
the acrobat.
Yeah, and I also loved the
leapfrog.
No, the what is his weapon
called? The scramma sticks or
the scramma sticks, how they were how it separated and had the string and then could come back to him. I know we got that a little bit in I think the last season of Daredevil.
Yeah, but they I think they brought it fully into season 3 of the Netflix series, but I don't think he used. I mean, listen,
he didn't use them a lot from what I remember.
He didn't use them as much as, or he's as fluently as he did in this episode.
Yeah, and he just felt like and you know, it's funny. A lot of people keep on posting him doing the walk of shame. At the end of the episode, towards the end of the episode,
I think it was,
which again, I do not care.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
But I do absolutely. I do. He still had that like, when he was fighting, those dudes in that hallway, and then he was standing there with that pose. Like, dude still got that intimidation. Don't even joke. Don't even play with me acting like he's a joke now. Y'all just don't know how to have fun sometimes.
No, they don't. They really don't.
I genuinely enjoyed what they showed. Obviously, I hope that there is still more practicality in the fights in like his other show, but I do want to see more acrobatic stuff and some more comic booky, him being that like more out there superhero. Like he's not a normal person. You know what I mean? He doesn't move like a normal person in the comics. Right. So, I would very much like to see a little bit more of that in his show as well. So yeah, no, I very much enjoyed the episode. The ending was also, interesting. We kind of saw that coming. I am very interested to see what their end goal is. Like she kind of called it out, was like, is there going to be a Red Hulk? Is there going to be, this and that? Because, that's what we were talking about, like mini Hulks, maybe the getting our blood of mini Hulks. So we'll have to see. But again, the show is just a fun show. And, it's not, we're always constantly talking about like how to, do we need to have everything tie into each other? And then some people are like, everything needs to tie into each other. Like this is just a show that's like seems to just be like a fun show. It's got a bunch of little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
She breaks the fourth wall.
Not enough Easter eggs.
Not enough Easter eggs apparently. But she breaks the fourth wall. Like this, her character is a silly character. Like, and not silly as like the character itself is a joke, but like that character doesn't take itself too seriously. The show shouldn't either. And I think it's been a fun ride. The episodes haven't felt like there's consequence to the episodes, but I didn't need it for this show. I didn't, at least for me. So I very much enjoyed everything.
Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. I say it's like the best one of the season and everything. Probably yes, because of the fact that I felt like it was everything that I kind of wanted to see. You know what I mean? Besides just Daredevil, because again, I really enjoyed the Wong episodes. You know what I mean? Those cameos were fun. You know what I mean? But like, all the Wongers. So it's like, but with like Matt, I'm happy that they didn't overplay the jokiness because that's always one of my biggest issues.
Natural.
Yeah, this one is similar to. I'm like, hey, this is not overdid. He has his nice jokes. He's suave as hell. I'm like, shit. I'm sure he was dropping panties all over the place. You know what I mean? This is what Matt Murdock does, even in the comics. I'm like,
bar scene.
You know what I mean? The bar scene alone. He knew what he was doing. It was no issues with that. And I'm like, hey, this is the Matt Murdock I know. He's usually self-sabotaging when it comes to the relationships. So I was like, we haven't needed to get to that. He just
as with any broody superhero.
Oh yeah,
any broody
it
superhero.
Is what it is. And he knew, but it's like, and then he was building to it, and it's just like, and he had his jokes when he needed it. It was very subtle. It wasn't over the top. Great with the acrobatics, like you guys have been saying, and all that. I really enjoyed it. Now, like the counter back to what you said, I think that the reason why I like this even more is because it actually went back onto task with the storyline.
Yeah.
So this one was
I
building
agree.
into what it was. It gave us like the villain of the day, which was Leapfrog, which is fun. He's hilarious. Like, you know, it's funny because I was like, I even had to do some research on him because the Leapfrog I know is the son, and he goes straight to being a hero. And he's a little bit more like, I don't want to call him mutated, but it's the suit itself that gives him the frog-like abilities. But in the comics, originally his dad is also a thief. So, you know what I mean? To show him do a little heel turn and kidnap this dude, like, you know, the designer and all that, to get him to fix the suit and make a better one and all that kind of shit. I thought it was like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, they're combining origin stories from the original and in himself, which I'm like, cool. I was like, it's Leapfrog, for God's sakes. I'm like, he wasn't going to get a solo.
The 5 fans out there are like, are either very happy or very upset.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so exactly. All good. You know.
Also, his layer, very hilarious.
Poison ivy up the ass, bro. I was like, what
that
the
shit
fuck?
Is great.
Hilarious. The lily pad. Like, I was like, mind you,
the lily pad. And then the fact that the fact that he has the big neon sign. So I'm going to my secret hideout.
Hilarious. Like, she's like, I'm supposed to know where this is, and she's like, all right, well, this makes sense. Okay, my bad. So
like everything about it was great.
Yeah, I think I had a great time with it. You know what I mean? The biggest thing was for me, again, it now is progressing her storyline. It shows that obviously she is still human. She will be angry. Like, you know, her
trust. She just had basically revenge porn shown to everyone. Like, that'll make anyone angry, bro.
Yo, the secondhand embarrassment I felt seeing, I'm like, yo, I don't know what to put my face, and I'm in my living room, and I'm just like, I don't even know what I would do.
I would absolutely
in a
punch
situation
that wall.
like this.
Absolutely, that wall's getting punched.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what I would do in a situation like that. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, yo. And then the fact that the police security outside, everybody was so quick to turn on.
They were ready. You saw that.
They were ready.
They had
immediately.
People here.
Immediately. As soon as she stepped outside, I'm just like. And by the way, that's damage control. If you guys didn't notice.
Yeah, but they got there way too quick. So it's way too
fast. It's like they were already there. They were already planned.
Yeah. See, and also we did technically see a Red Hulk. Remember, she was seeing red when everybody was like escaping and all that. When she was looking around,
we did see
she was technically red. You know what I mean? And also the lighting was red inside the room because it was like an emergency setting.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, I think that's where she was like, you know, that's our Red Hulk that we're getting right now, because it's like she saw red. She wanted someone to bleed. You know, so all she saw was just like the red lights. That's what, like, everybody's running in fear. She was angry as fuck. She was like straight Hulk right there. She didn't even give a shit anymore. So I was, again, I think I want to, I'm glad to see where this progresses. It sucks that there's only one more episode for this to build on. You know, we'll see what
again, that's going back to the formula of Disney Plus shows. Yeah, we'll start you off great. We'll give you a bunch of filler in the middle. Then the last 2 episodes, we're going to try to knock it out the park with the runtime that we have. So I don't know. I'm just hoping they stick the landing with this finale. We'll see
like
how it
Daredevil,
turns out.
You know, we'll stick the landing like Daredevil.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
Obviously, I enjoyed the show. The biggest highlight for me, other than seeing, you know, the lawyer stuff from She-Hulk, seeing her in the courtroom, I was hoping, you know, when they announced the show, we would get that one case where, like in the comics, she got to go up against Matt Murdock and shit. You got to see not necessarily who's the better lawyer, but who wins that court case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
my man smelled jet fuel. How you beat that? How you beat that?
Yo, and I know you saw my tweet. It's like, so lately I've been reading a lot of Daredevil, right? Like, I've gone back to like some of the old school. I'm not even reading Chip Zdarsky's run.
You should be, but continue.
Right? So I'm going back to like early 2000s, rereading some of his origin stuff, when he's first dealing with Karen Page's death and, you know, that relationship and all that. So I'm on a Daredevil binge. So seeing him finally in the you know, the gold and red costume, fully acrobatic, throwing the jokes and all that, seeing people complain, I'm just like, can I just show you these comic books right now? Because that's literally how he talks in this page. These panels right here, that's how he talks. That's what he says.
But the other shows, the other seasons were so dark and gritty.
It's
exactly.
not the
So
same show.
I know,
Not
I
the
not the
know.
same
same
show.
show.
It's
I'm
so crazy how
glad.
people get so like
God.
fixated in a thing that they're like immovable, like
Yeah,
from like
and like
like a
they're
thought
set in
process.
stone. They're set in stone. They don't want to move from there, and they don't want to,
Mhm.
they accept anything less than. So seeing the initial feedback to when that clip dropped yesterday, and then they butchered Daredevil. They made him a joke. This and I was like, bro, you
Dude,
so called
look
bro.
at this. You remember this scene? Hold on, wait. I can't. Oh,
I
damn it.
can't see
There's not a
the
I
text,
good.
but
can't
I
see
can
the
see him.
text. I
So,
can't see the
so it's
text.
literally him trying to type on a cat, and it says, "I can't see what I'm typing," because He's typing on a cat. This is some of the shit we've had of Daredevil throughout
He
the
literally
years.
wears a
Bro,
Halloween
when
costume that says "I'm
bro,
Daredevil."
He doesn't
when
even
he
know it's
wears
red.
when he goes to the Christmas party and shit.
Yeah,
When he goes to the Christmas party, like, bro, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that is literally Matt Murdock. It's like, you can't just be so fixated on what Netflix provided you in those 3 seasons, which are great, by the way.
and he
Great
still makes
series.
some quips
And even
and
there, he
jokes in
made some
there.
jokes.
Well,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
My
like,
man, you got a sense of humor in those 3 seasons as well,
No, yeah, totally.
exactly. So I don't understand what the
and even in
feedback
the
is.
crossover.
And Defenders, yep.
Yeah,
More in Defenders, funny
more in
More
enough,
in Defenders,
Defenders.
actually. More in
exactly.
Defenders, which is
Yeah,
great.
Especially when he was interacting with Jessica Jones,
yeah.
the banter between them two.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, listen, fully acrobatic Daredevil was a huge bonus for me, because obviously we have only seen so much from the
hmm
teasers, but seeing full blown acrobat in here, I'm like, yes, I like that. That's what I've been reading lately. I'm glad we got that in live action now. And then the one line in the courtroom, oh, how did you know I use jet fuel? And he goes, don't ask me how I know. I just know. Is literally a line from the comic book. Even Foggy tells him, no, don't even question how he knows. He just knows. And I was just like, bro, you Marvel, thank you. Thank you. I didn't need much from Daredevil. I didn't need much. But the fact that you went the extra mile to give me a literal line of how you refer to Daredevil in the comic books, I know Daredevil's in good hands.
Also,
But yeah, it was a solid episode.
quick side note, that type of agility that he was doing, I want to see with Batman. I just want to
Fair,
see
fair.
that, like, I want to see, because that's
Mhm.
animated series
Yeah,
Batman
yeah.
jumping around and
Mhm.
jumping around, doing backflips and whatnot.
Mhm.
Like, I just want to see Batman do a backflip like it's nothing.
The
You know what I mean?
closest
Like,
one we've had was Batfleck. He's been the
Yeah,
closest to acrobatic because
pretty
they've been
much.
showing him
yeah,
putting through
yeah,
people
he
through
was
freaking
definitely putting in
walls
work
and shit.
in that
You know?
but he was very quick, but he wasn't very acrobatic,
Yeah,
but
he
he was
was older.
quick.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
older,
but
but you know,
yeah,
Mhm.
that's like the
yeah.
most like movement,
Mhm.
dynamic movement I think we've seen
Yes.
him
Yeah, yeah.
in that like warehouse scene. But yeah, like I just
Right.
want to see a Batman that like is like flipping and shit. Like he's supposed to be like beyond peak human physicality to me to for pretty much to the point of not being human. So like I want
Right.
to see him doing backflips that like you wouldn't expect a person to be able to do. Obviously wearing all that gear and stuff like that. Like give me agile flippy flip Batman.
I mean, he
Mhm.
did. I appreciate the little swan dive he did off the lily pad, which is cool. Which obviously got Jen a little flutter. You know what I mean? In the right places.
Oh, her fourth wall breaks were great.
Oh yeah, they were perfect.
They were
Like
really good this
it
one.
was on
She's like, "Are we all
par.
feeling this? Are we all
Yeah, it
feeling
was
this?" Yes,
literally on
Jen.
par with Captain America's ass. I'm like,
Yeah,
because that was one of my biggest things. Oh, he's leaving. So it's like one of my favorite things about it the whole time. I was like, and I said I was yelling about it after they stopped doing the end credit scenes of
yeah.
anything extra. And I'm like, those were what made the episodes epic. I was like, those end credits, like her moving furniture for her
Yeah.
parents.
I'm
You know?
surprised what the thought process was like ending that like halfway through.
I have no idea. I
Yeah, like
feel
what
like
they
it was
gave
such a
us they gave
letdown.
us like three or four,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then they were just like no more end credits, and it's like I thought it
yeah.
was gonna be a thing throughout the whole show.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
dude, it
very
was
confused why they
everything.
just did a few.
Yeah, Cap's ass, the moving furniture. Then it was the one of, oh well, actually I was okay with the Megan the Sally, and I didn't
Yeah,
give
the
a shit about
twerking.
that one. But like,
Yeah,
I wanted one for
I
every
wanted to see
episode.
it
They
every
didn't give
episode.
it. They didn't
Give me
give it.
Right.
something
Yeah.
random.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like even give us like,
What?
hey, scenes. Well, technically, I don't know. Like maybe they just didn't want to do it after the credits, and they gave it to us anyway because the Josh thing happened like well after I feel like at the end of the show, and then the credits rolled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the
So that
credits.
theoretically,
The credits rolled after.
would have been,
That's what I feel like they should have did. I
It
feel
felt
like
like
that
an
would
end
have
credit
more.
scene, but
That's what I'm
it
saying. Yeah,
was at the end of the episode.
yeah.
one thing we did glance over that Matt Murdock did mention in court was
Sokovia Accords.
the Sokovia Accords being repressed. What does
Repealed.
that mean? Repealed. What does that mean for the MCU as a whole?
More secret identities again. More secret identities.
Like that's an interesting. That's something I'm not sure they're gonna explore in Captain America: New World Order.
True. Yeah.
That may be something they explore in Daredevil: Born Again. There's obviously rumors that She-Hulk is appearing in Captain America 4. So I don't know. That might be one plot thread that kind of goes around to a lot of multiple things. Maybe even the Thunderbolts, since you're gonna get villains as a superhero team. So I'm just interested to see where that goes. That specific plot thread.
Oh, I will also say her CGI, especially in the super suit, was the best in the whole series.
Yeah, it was really good. This episode,
and we made this point. It's because it was a skin tight suit. You know what I mean? And it was like certain colors, nighttime, the whole way through. Immaculate. I thought it was like, I was like, this is how we should see her all the time. But so unfortunately, it's not like she's going to turn Hulk only at nighttime. You know, and
the only thing I wish the suit was just a little less lines. There was a lot of like I wish they would simplify designs a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes it just works. You know what I mean? Like I know it was kind of the goofy throwback, but like the Loki with the very long horns. With the symbol, like obviously it was like Loki. It was like the material and everything was very different, but like that design still slapped. Like and we know Jen's costume, She-Hulk's costume in the comics, pretty revealing. I didn't think they were probably going to go that route for this show, but like they still could have kept with like the simple like stripe, like the color separation. I just felt like there was like a lot of lines again, kind of like with the what do you call it, Fantastic Four, Reed Richards suit in like literally the first movie knocked it out of the park with all those older movies with Fantastic Four really did a good job except for the Fan Four stick. They kept the suits really simple, added some texture, and then that's pretty much it. I would have liked to see her suit a little bit more simplified. But
that we'll never see her in the swimsuit because it's Disney.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like, like it seems like that like they could have kept the same the fit, but like just had less like lines everywhere.
Of course,
like,
I'm sure.
Segments, a lot of segments.
It was trying to pay homage to the original styles and all that kind of stuff. And the beggars can't be choosers. You know what I mean? We're all going to say something about one thing. Like I said, hey, best one that they've had so far. Even the dressy suit in court was better than before. Yeah. You know what I mean? But still not. That wasn't the great scene. It was her in the super suit, and I'm like, it was good. It's a good time, and I'm glad that she found a nice guy. He had the walk of shame. You know what I mean? And
hey,
all good.
Are we upset? I'm glad.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
I'm glad everybody scored.
He was down with Jen, not She-Hulk. He was down for Jen.
With Jen, not She-Hulk.
That's true.
That's how
second date. Second date will.
The second date definitely got to be She-Hulk.
You'd be like, yo,
Daredevil's a king. All right.
You know what I mean?
Respectable king.
I gotta respect how he's like, he tried to be respectful, maybe next time I come around, take you out for some dinner. She's like, nah, fam, how about we just skip all that?
How about we just go home right now?
How about we just skip all that?
She was like, this is the best time to do it. I just did my first, stop my first heist. You know what I mean? You were all hopping all over the fucking place. I'm in. Let's do it.
Yo, and the fact that she was admiring him the whole episode, after the bar, she's like, braced the force. She's like,
we all feeling this? We all feeling
this? Feeling that, right? You guys seeing that, right? We like, yo, Jen. I'm like, yo,
yes,
Jen. Come on.
We are all feeling this. We are all feeling this.
If you don't hop on that right now, we're gonna have some problems.
I think that's what it'd be like. Why did he not hook up with the Daredevil? It's like that's where my Twitter fingers would have went.
You just gotta appreciate. You gotta appreciate Jen for being Jen, bro. She said, "Listen, let's cut to the chase. Let's get off tonight. Let's get off tonight." But yeah, it was a solid episode. I'll tell you that much. It was a great episode. So we'll see how next week's episode, which is the season finale, how that one holds up. But yeah, that's all we got for this episode. You guys know where to find us. Literally everywhere.
Yes.
All over
Oh,
the
don't
place.
forget to like and subscribe, by the way.
Don't
We
forget,
never
yeah, the
tell you
most
that. We
important. We forget
forget.
to tell. We forget
Oh
to
my
tell you
God.
every single episode since we're popping these on
Shit.
YouTube now. Like,
Yeah. Also,
comment, subscribe.
if you were on like YouTube or anything, anywhere with a comment section, you got some thoughts about something we talked about,
Mhm.
throw it in the
Please,
comments. We'll
we'll
look
read
over
it.
them.
We'll read it on
Put
the
it-
We'll look
show.
over
We'll
them.
read it.
What fucking ball are you fucking inflating right now? I see what is going on. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing. I'm like,
My man just got a
there's-
pump.
There's a couple things getting inflated. You know what I mean? Daredevil, She-Hulk weren't the only ones.
Oh God! All right, Mr. Austin Powers. All right, that for you young ones. That's go to part one.
There were some movies that came out.
Yeah, no, we did. There were some interviews that dropped
Oh,
these past couple of weeks. We got some more interviews lined up that'll be dropping. So Halloween
Yes.
theme, actually, very Halloween centric. Those
Ooh.
interviews that'll be dropping in the next few days.
Awesome.
Sometime next week, but definitely
Spooky,
before Halloween.
scary
So definitely,
skeleton.
yeah. My son loves that song, by the way. But yeah, that's all we got for this episode. Remember, as Ed said, midway through the episode, we'll be off next week. So once the following week, we'll be
I
back
just
with
found
our
out
review.
too.
We'll be back with our review of Andor episode 6 and 7, the season finale of She-Hulk, maybe Stargirl.
Yeah.
Our thoughts
Catch up,
on
Boozer.
New York Comic Con feedback and stuff like that.
Yes.
So there's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff we'll be covering in the next episode. In the meantime, you guys can check out our interviews. Another new episode of Anime in the Basement is coming out soon. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you guys know when we're posting our videos, so you guys don't miss a video. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, stay nerdy, my friends.
Peace.